What up, second grade? Miss Crawl here. I hope you all are doing well and ready to learn. So today, we're going to be talking about prefixes and how they can help us if we don't know what a word means. So remember, a prefix comes before a root word. So you can see that there's the main word and then there's a prefix in the front. We'll talk about some common prefixes that we see. Now, if we can remember the meaning of a prefix, that can help us figure out what that whole word means. So maybe we run into a word and we don't know what it means. We can look at the prefix, so the part that comes before it, and if I know the meaning of that, that can help me figure out what the whole word means. So let me go ahead and show you what I'm talking about here. So let me zoom in. Here are common prefixes that we see. So it says to figure out a new word, look for a prefix or word part at the beginning of the word. So again, we have our root word, which is our main word, and then we have that word part in the beginning, which is a prefix. So re, R-E, is a common prefix, and it means again. So if you see the word reuse, we have our root word use, so that main word, and that use, and then we have the prefix re, R-E, which means again. So the definition or the meaning of reuse means to use again. So do you see how we were able to use our knowledge of the prefix re, which we know means again, to figure out that reuse means to use again? Another one is un, and that means not. So if we have the word untrue, we see our root word or our main word true, and then we see the prefix un, and we know that means not, so we know that untrue means not true. We're able to use our knowledge of the prefix un, which means not, and use not, and then our root word true, not true is the meaning of untrue. And our last prefix that we're going to work with today is dis, D-I-S, and that means opposite of. So the opposite of. So in this, we have dislike. So we have our root word, like, and then we have our prefix dis in the front. So the opposite of like, so if you like someone, the opposite of that is you do not like them. The opposite of. So we used our knowledge of dis to help us figure out what dislike means. So as you can see, we can look for that prefix in a word that we don't know. So let's say we're reading and we come across a word that we don't know. We might think to ourselves, do I see a prefix here? And maybe you do. You see the R-E, and automatically you go, I know that R-E means again. So then when we look at that root word, so if the root word was use in that example we just talked about, I know that means use again because I have that knowledge of that prefix re. So we're going to go ahead and practice this now that we have an idea of what we're doing. So let me go ahead and move down here. All right, so it says circle the prefix in each underlined word, then circle the meaning. So we're going to practice finding the prefix, and then we're going to practice the meaning of the prefix also, or of the word, using the prefix to help us, All right, number 1 says, the others disagree. So our word is disagree. Well, first, let's highlight the prefix. So I see D-I-S. That's our prefix. Dis. Well, dis means opposite of. So if you agree with someone, what's the opposite of agree? Is to not agree. So the opposite of agree is do not agree. So that helped dis, our prefix, helped us figure out what disagree means, which is do not agree. Number 2, it is unlike the other sounds. It is unlike the other sounds. Well, I see the prefix un, U-N, and sorry if it highlights other things we don't really want to. Un. Now, if I need to know the meaning of unlike, I think to myself, un means not. So, and our root word like, so it means to not like. Un means not, so not like. All right, let's look at number 3. Its brown coat makes it seem to disappear in the woods. So disappear. First, I want you to tell me, take your pointer finger, get close to your screen, don't actually touch your screen, and pretend to highlight our prefix there. What's our prefix in disappear? Go ahead. So our prefix is dis, D-I-S. All right, so dis means what? I want you to think. Our prefix dis means what? Go ahead and yell it out if you remember. It means the opposite of, right? So we're not, if it appear, what's the opposite of appear? It does not appear. So if it seemed to disappear, it means it's going to not appear, right? It's not going to be there. Go away. Not appear, because it's the opposite. All right, number 4. The deer slips away unseen is our word. So go ahead and take your pointer finger and again, pretend to highlight, point out that prefix. What is our prefix in unseen? You should have pointed to un. Our prefix is un. Let me go ahead and highlight that. And I want you to think, what does un mean again? Go ahead and yell it out. Un means not. Good. So then we use our root word seen, and we know it's not seen. All right, our last one here. The class retraces their steps back to the bus. The class retraces their steps back to the bus. So we have our word retraces. I want you to pretend to highlight our prefix in the word retraces. So you should have highlighted RE, that's our prefix. And I want you to go ahead and think, what does our prefix RE mean again? Go ahead and yell it out. Yeah, it means again. So if you retrace, class retraces, that means we take our root word traces and then again. So traces again. All right, second grade, I'm going to move our page back to the top so we can review before I let you go. So we talked about a prefix, which is a word part that comes at the beginning of a word. Now, we can use this for a word we don't know. So let's say you see the word reuse in your reading, and you're like, I don't know what that means. You think to yourself, oh, I see that prefix R-E. I know that means again. So I use my prefix again, re, and I use. So use again. So you can use that prefix and that root word to help you figure out the meaning of the word together. And some common prefixes that we practiced today was re, which means again, un, which means not, and dis, which means opposite of. All right, second grade, awesome work, and I'll see you next time.